Who's the David Spade character?
Oh, Joe Dirt.
Oh, that would be so Joe Dirt for me.
That would be so Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
Good
But, you
morning,
know,
Bill.
good morning, Bill. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Look at this hat. I mean, how could I be anything other than fantastic with a hat like this?
Bro, you're so buff. You're so buff.
You
Love
know,
it.
and you look like you're about to attend like a 72-hour, RV sale. That's what it looks like is about to happen in your life. We're slashing deals on RVs, guys. Come on, it's the end of season. Come on out. My name's Jake No Hair Jordan. I'll take care of you. Come ask for the bald guy.
That's right. That's right. Bald guy with the stars. I give you the best deal. Love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Before I get yelled at or by my video buddies, hold on, my friends in video land. There it is. A little bit more lighting. It's supposed to be very helpful.
Yeah. Keep it together, John. Seriously.
Keep it. I know. I got so excited about your shirt and my hat, I forgot to turn all my lights on.
Yeah, and you almost dropped your headphones again too.
I did almost. I mean, Gabe wasn't there, which is a bummer because he would have loved it. But I started laughing so hard at my own jokes that I threw my head back and almost threw my headphones off again twice this week.
That's right. It's a good week for it.
You're dadding it pretty hard when you laugh at your own jokes so hard that your headphones fall off your head. Like,
flail off your headphones.
No, so I was in Chicago with the girls right around last Thanksgiving, actually. And we were just kind of hanging out in one of the suburbs, and I saw this hat and it has a buffalo on it. And I, of course, must have everything I can find with buffaloes on it. So here we are. And then it's just been like up in a closet. And someone noticed a hat I was wearing yesterday, the Blackhawks hat I normally wear. And he was like, "Are you from Chicago?" And I was explaining why I buy hats and what they do for me. And he was like, "Oh, that's cool." So then we just started going through our hats and kind of like trying to one up each other. And this one won, as obvious.
I mean, you could assume you were a buffalo hunter given the pattern.
Exactly.
That's good stuff. I mean,
I don't think I've ever looked more manly than I do. I mean,
that's a moment of silence. I'm just telling you. Paul Bunyan is my co-host today. Like,
this is my power hat, everybody. It's Thursday. You got to get your mind right. Like, ping, ping, ping.
Hey, so I got my stars and bars get rolling. That's my power shirt, right?
I will tell you what, though, I'm almost done for this week.
So am I.
I wrote probably 3,000 words yesterday between a couple of sections. So I need to write one more section. I need to write my Sherpa. And then after that, like, I can freely just block and tackle and just hang out in limbo without any, KPIs to knock out or anything. I'm pretty excited about it.
And that means, how many words? God, you'll be over 10,000 for the week for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I was, who was I? Oh, I was talking with Melissa, right? Because like, I haven't really she's been hearing me talk about this on here and in conversations I've been having and stuff, but she doesn't really know what it is because I'm not letting her edit it as I'm done with it.
I'm not going to release it yet.
Yeah, exactly. This is so sacred. Even my editor can't see it yet. And so, so yesterday she's like, "Hey, what is this thing you keep talking about?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really know. It's kind of a book, kind of a course. It's a shit ton of content. It's lots and lots and lots of words." And she was like, "Okay." And so then I showed her the table of contents, and I'm taking a cue from you of like a start here, and like, here's the thesis and here's what we're doing and stuff. But dude, I'm just jacked about the table of contents, honestly. Like, I'm so fired. Hold on. Can I share my screen on here?
Oh, we're going to get watch, I guess. We're going to get a preview of the next big book coming from the John Small Mountain Studios. So please brace yourself. Grab anything close to you that might shake off the shelf.
Yes. If you're not wearing a buffalo hat, shield your eyes because it's like the Ark of the Covenant. It's going to be very difficult for you to.
Right. Only Indiana Jones can bear look at it.
Exactly. All right. Let me share my screen. Is it going to let me?
Show here. One second.
Nope. Come on, I'm not even a co-host on here.
All right, there you go. I gotta do that every time.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Bill. Check this out. Look at this outline table of contents. Everything's got its own Google Doc. I got. Yeah.
Even if it sucks.
Even if it sucks.
That's a good chapter title.
Yeah. You're talking about this, the track your performance even if it sucks. I thought you were talking about it's a lot of words even if it sucks. I was like, damn, Bill.
Wow, savage Thursday.
Sometimes the cold slap in the face is necessary, but can I get through this thing before you just chop the legs up?
I also like buy-in with the apostrophe with no G. That's another quality title. Seriously.
Yeah. Buy-in and permission. But yeah, this is done. I got this, and these are my specials with outside experts, which might be released as like a 2.0 or like a bonus thing, so that I can get this thing done sooner rather than later. But cool. I am done almost, right?
I love it.
You're a special individual, and let's talk about why that gets in your way. It's going to be all about disc stuff, personalities, the big seven, like how to go find a closer opportunity, and then how to manage the relationship with the owner, which will also be great for owners because you need to be able to manage your relationship with your closer. So yeah, this is it.
Actually, my favorite thing about this right now is What's that up? You just said you're going to do a 2.0 and you're going to go ahead and get it out the door.
Oh, for sure.
That's awesome. Because I'd still be pressing to get the people in so I could have a full, complete.
I mean, here's the deal. I was sweating that yesterday, right? I was really, really like, man, I really want to get these like interviews done. And then I'm trying to figure it out because like the rest of the book is written or the rest of the content is written kind of like a book, right? It's not even written like one of my value posts or anything else where like it's very like decoupled and broken out and stuff. It's written like a book, right? I mean, so paragraphs and everything. And like I'm kind of in this weird place because I think that most people want to watch their content now, their courses and all of this stuff. And this was going to be something that I did like a little video talking about these things, but here's the content as well. But if we go the book route, then that won't be a thing. And then maybe what'll happen is I'll strip out the audio version of it and do it as like an upsell or something like that. I don't know. And here's the deal: we might get done with this, and I might go through Melissa, and then the majority of it's trash, and it ends up being a better course. But then this is going to be like a foundational, like I guess, thing for a book eventually. So if this version of it doesn't get it, then I'll keep working on fleshing this stuff out until it is, I would think.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it sounds like a book. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, some of these sections have got 4,000 words in them, and then some of them have 2,000 words in them, so I mean, it's a substantial thing. But like then my head trash is I'm going to be one of these people who does like the self-publishing through like Kindle, and you get the book that like, hold on, I have one. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't know, you can self-publish through Amazon. That's the Kindle thing, and you can actually turn it into a paperback, which is I think that's what he's bringing us here.
That's why you always keep your bookshelf right here behind you, so that way when you want to talk about the kind of book you don't want to write, you can just like go.
No argument for me.
But then, so you get little books like this that are self-published and stuff like this, and it's 100 and something pages, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a book. It feels like a pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm going to write a book, I want it to feel like a book.
Substantial. Yeah.
Exactly. And like all props to anybody who self-publishes and goes through this thing. It is a mess. I'm just saying that my standards for like what I want to do, if I want to put my name on it, are going to be pretty high, right? And probably for no really great reason, but that's just how I think about
it. Yeah. I think, but you're probably talking as much about the content of the book as you are the self-publishing aspect anyway. Because there's so many people that self-publish now that are great authors. It's just they're not interested in paying somebody else for all the extras.
So there's a guy named Neville who's a copywriter who Melissa and I follow. He's really good friends with Noah, and he did a bunch of copywriting on early Noah stuff. And so he wrote a book, and it's all about you're gonna die, right? And a timeline for happiness, And it's this very stoic idea that like you're gonna die, so as opposed to not thinking about it, you should be preparing about it and everything else. And he actually goes so far, which is a thing that I've loved, and I've also kind of tried to do for myself, of like picking a death date, so that way you have a deadline. You need to go do everything you want to go do in your life before this dead date happens. And so his book is mostly about that, and Melissa bought the book, and I was like, oh, cool. Now I don't have to buy this because she did. So I'm reading it, and in the middle of the book is a whole other book. Like, yeah, like this is like a 40-page book, but her version of it ended up being double or triple that, because there's like a whole book about diverticulitis in the middle of the book. Yeah. It's so weird. So I know Neville a little bit. So like I messaged him and I was like, hey man, there's a whole other book in your book? And he was like, what? And I was like, do I have the Mickey Mantle error card version of your book? And it's going to be worth millions of dollars one day. But yeah, like I don't really know what the final form of this thing is going to be. I do feel like I have enough content between this and the other starts and stops that, a really good editor who's done this before and knows how to like do really strong book launches could come in and be like, cool, let's take this and this and this and this and this and this. Slam it all together. Nice. Do it that way.
So Catherine Nolan said nice hat and good job on all your
my sister. Hello, sister.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, that's my kid's sister. She lives up in Missouri.
Missouri.
I
love Missouri.
I've been there once, which is why I have a St. Louis hat.
Oh, nice. It's so hats mark your travels.
Hats mark my travels, yeah.
Okay.
Every city I go to, I buy a hat. So I've got and that's why the collection is quite so random, right? Because normally it's a baseball hat, but if I can't find a baseball hat, I'll go to, another sport. But yeah. And then what's crazy is every time I go back to said city, I try to buy another one of their sports teams hats, right? So like I've got, I think 3 hats for Chicago. I've got a couple of hats for Seattle and stuff like that. So pretty cool, I guess. It's just a thing that people
like
do.
It's very cool.
How was your day yesterday? Did you get, it sounds like you got a lot done if you're almost done.
Oh yeah. No, it was really good. I had a really, really solid day yesterday.
Good.
And I got some education done, and I got finally, the real stuff here, right? Is I have been putting off a consistent workout schedule since COVID started. Like I've spurts and
dabbled,
little start and stops and things like that. And I found the routine that I like a whole bunch. And I got restarted on that yesterday. So that was like at the end of the day on my journal, I talk about my journal a lot, or my planner. It says, I would know that today was a great success if at the end of the day I felt or did these things. And I put in there in big letters, do the effing workout.
Nice. I like it.
I did it. So
was it more like GMB bodyweight stuff, or was it something else?
It was GMB.
Cool.
Yeah, gold medal body. It's a gymnastic one for those that don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's body weight and it's brutal. You don't need any weights.
Yeah, you really don't. One of my clients, his name's Brandon. Dude is jacked. Like looks like Brock Lesnar anyway, And then COVID happens, and then he's not going to the gym, but like dude really wants to work out, so he starts doing like P90X, which has got a lot of yoga and a lot of stretching, and he's also concerned about like how much he can eat because he's got a brand new baby. And I'm like, dude, intermittent fasting and all this stuff. And so a couple of weeks ago, I went over there to go like meet with him in person, talk about some stuff, his pipeline, all those things, and dude looks more jacked now doing body weight only without doing like the heavy squats, the complex complex lifting and everything else like this. And like, dude is looking like yoked, like huge traps, like nice V. Dude is looking really, really, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he was like, I never would have thought that body weight would work me like this, but it's working.
Look at gymnasts. That's,
for sure. Absolutely.
Weight.
It's so crazy. And as soon as this freaking wrist is better, I'm getting back into the handstands, and I'm shopping for and building a pull-up rig because I'm tired of not being as active as I want to be.
Yeah, that'd be good. I actually was thumbing through the YouTube videos for GMB, and they had a handstand one, like 5 basic concepts for handstand or something. I thought of you, and I was like, oh, I know he's missing that.
Yeah. I haven't done any handstands in probably 2 weeks, just because this wrist has been jacked up. And honestly, I think what it might be, and this is me strictly guessing, not going to a doctor, is that it might be a little bit of like carpal tunnel. Maybe.
Think so?
Maybe because, I'm often working in situations where I'm too tall for the desk, whenever I was at AT&T, you always stood at like a desk. And so then what happens is you're reaching out and you're having to like really like flex back the wrist like this, while you're working on a keyboard and a mouse, and did that for a number of hours. And my standing desk, like as I've had it for the majority of the time that I've been using it, has not really been ergonomically correct, because what happens is like, I can only stand for so long. And then what happens is I want to be focused. So then I'll sit down to write, and then the ergonomics of it kind of go a little wonky. But, so wearing this thing, also, I just think it's part of it is just stress, right? Well, of everything that's going on. So hopefully, I closed a deal yesterday, or kind of a deal, right? So the first part of a deal. So we're going to
like a half pump,
So we're going to start with assessments for him, and then he wants to find a sales partner, right? So essentially, he's like Jeff, right? Big ideas all over the place, really scattered. He's really great at starting stuff, but he's looking for someone to do the day-to-day. So essentially, it's Jeff looking for someone like me, and I'm going to try to help him find me, bring them into the company and all that stuff. So,
very cool, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you very much. Starting with the assessment, and then that'll be somewhere between, I don't know, like a $3,000 and $5,000 project. So.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you very much. I'm super happy about it. And the guy that I'm working with is a guy that I've known for a while, right? And we had all the hard parts of the conversation yesterday about like, hey man, you have a big attitude, so it's going not in a bad way, but you're a big presence in any room. So how are you going to feel empowering someone else to like actually come in and like have a seat at the table with you? Yep. And he was like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, that's why we're going to start with your assessment. So we're going to do his assessment. We're going to talk about like how he leads, how he communicates, all of this stuff like this. So that way we're better prepared whenever we go looking for his closer / partner. So it's going to be dope. I'm excited about it. Thank you.
It's good.
Thank you. I met a very cool person yesterday. And so yesterday was all meetings, and it was really bizarre because I think I have an improvement loop figured out this morning, right? So I'm trying to become like hypergraphic, right? Like making too many notes, because if you have too many notes, at least then, you don't need them all. But if you're missing a note, then that sucks sometimes. So what I've been doing is like a daily log, right? So I kind of took some notes about how we did BIL yesterday, like thoughts, takeaways, my session with my coach, my session with my client, my session with this new person, Carrie, and then the conversation with Nelson, which was my full day yesterday. And then what I'm doing this morning is I'm getting up, I'm transcribing that stuff into like, I'm calling it a captain's log, because, Star Trek, why would you not?
Nerd.
And exactly, card, make it so. So
yes.
now I'm transcribing this into like a daily log, ship's, captain's log or whatever. And then I will link the people notes to the actual records that I keep for people, because everybody I talk to, they keep notes on you. So that way I don't forget anything that's important, right? My Google Drive folder with my like notes from calls and in meetings and discussions is, I would say that thing alone is probably worth, I don't know, $100,000.
Yeah. I have
Just
a friend.
as,
Joel? Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget his last name. I haven't talked to him in a while. Anyway, he's an agency guy, and he wears glasses just like us, the black rim, horn rim glasses. Anyway, he has a Word doc, and every time he sits down and has a new conversation with someone, he takes notes.
Oh yeah, Joel. Yeah.
And then when he's done, he sends you the link to y'all's conversation. And the first time he did that, I was like, bro, I'm stealing this. He was like, steal it. I stole it from somebody else. Yeah. And I was like, awesome. But then, of course, I didn't do it. But it's a great idea. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I learned this idea from him, actually. Did you introduce me to him, or did I introduce him to you?
I think I introduced you to him because I ran into him through Parnell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, he's a super cool guy. I haven't talked to him in a while, but Joel, if you're not watching, because you're probably not, thanks for the for the tip there. So
yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him today now, just because he's a good dude to know.
Super good to know. Tell him about BIL. We should have him on here as a guest, actually.
Absolutely, because he could bring all sorts of knowledge.
He's got a cool business, and he's got it really targeted. You know, the last time I talked to him anyway.
And his systems are really good.
Yeah, he could be a really good guest, actually.
Yeah, we should do that.
But yeah, so I keep a just like a running Google Doc, right? About the days we chat, any notes I take away, and then, you know, I keep client logs with everybody I talk to about what we talk about and stuff like this. So slowly becoming this person who probably takes way too many notes, but I'm okay with that.
Well, you're slowly turning into like an official writer. Like when people ask me who John Hill is, I might be like, John Hill's a writer and he does sales. Because like you love to write. You journal, you write, you blog.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Take lots of notes. Like, I mean, you are a loquacious dude.
You know,
that's not bad at all.
You know what's so funny is, like, I was talking with my buddy Michael over the weekend, who I've known this whole time, right? He's my buddy. He lives in Chicago and plays poker full time, and I get a lot of my sales stuff from him because I take a lot from the poker world anyway. But you know, because he's there and playing professionally and stuff like this, it's a great way to kind of refine my mindset and the stuff I take from poker and apply to sales. And he's like, dude, I haven't been. We were kind of like holding each other accountable to the fact that we haven't been chatting very, very often here recently. And he was like, man, I just see your stuff all the time. I just figure you got to be slammed. And I'm like, all the time, you know, like kind of forgetting about like the momentum of like social media and stuff like this, and how like some people aren't going to see things for 2 to 3 days. So depending upon how the algorithm is stacking my stuff in your review, it could look like I'm just like sitting behind a computer endlessly typing and doing all these things. So I was just kind of like, oh no, man, like we can still absolutely chat. So, you know, we got that figured out. But the outside view is always going to be way, way, way different than the inside view, because I still feel like I'm not putting out enough content, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And like, I have friends like that. Even Jake Melton recently was like, dude, you're blowing it up. You got stuff everywhere. It's just because, you know, when you batch recordings on different shows and then you guest on other shows and then you interact and then you put your own stuff up, it looks like you're everywhere all the time. In fact, I think there was a book called Everywhere All the Time or Everywhere Always, written by a social media guy like 10 years ago. And it was back when everyone started figuring out buffer and things like that.
Interesting. Still good? You think it's still good? No.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, the concept's really, you don't have to work all the time. You plan your content and lay it out over different areas and layer it and find tools to do it. And that's really what the book was about.
As soon as they, and they probably won't do this for good reason, but as soon as they allow it to where you can schedule posts without being penalized on Facebook, I am going to be there way less often.
I'm so lazy. I don't care that they penalize me. I
Really?
I schedule half my posts. I don't do all of them still for the same reason. I still do some live ones. But honestly, I think this live trumps everything on every social platform right now.
Yeah,
you get ranked for live on every platform. So this is my contribution to the algorithm.
You know, you're supposed to be like the LinkedIn guy, like more so than me, because in my circles I'm the LinkedIn guy and I come talk to you. So obviously you're the LinkedIn guy for the LinkedIn guy. Can you get us some live access on LinkedIn so that way we can have this show on the platform where we're the coolest? It's irony at its best. I have so many friends who are massive LinkedIn live, broadcasters that have big audiences on LinkedIn. They're like, bro, why aren't you going live? I'm like, I don't have it. Get me LinkedIn live. They're like, you don't have it? So, who knows? I actually sick Lila Smith on it. A couple days ago. Lila, if you want our goodness there, bro, you gotta help us out. I'll tell you what, guys. If we get some LinkedIn live, I'll start wearing collared shirts in the mornings, because I gotta class it up a little bit. Yeah. It was weird. I've got these like crazy Pearl Snap shirts that have got these like designs, right? And I have one that's got like Bowie's face on it, on the panels right here. And one of my clients was wearing one that had like these like birds, and I was like, oh, I got to show you this shirt. And so I was wearing this button-up shirt, and I wear a t-shirt pretty much 100% of the time. I felt radically different seeing myself in my Zoom photo with the collared shirt, and I was just kind of like, maybe this should be a thing. And then I woke up this morning and I was just like, meh, t-shirt. Bailed so hard and so
You
fast.
just got to have like really comfy collared shirts. Like the Roosevelt ones are so comfy.
They are.
It
I
just
know.
feels like you're wearing like a super slick t-shirt. It's so
You
good.
know, and I love the themes of their shirts. I just always feel like they're like this much too much.
I know.
Dial it back a smidge.
Well, I have a thing. So this is why I have these, right? Is every time I close a deal with Quirk, I go buy myself a new Roosevelt.
Nice.
So
see, boys and girls, if you're following along, that is a trap right there, which is good. I love it because they're not cheap shirts. They're like $60, right? So
yes, absolutely. So I got to go make 5 to 10 grand before I'm gonna go drop 60 on a shirt.
Man, if you want to have a crazy dad short sleeve button up, like off, like a duel. I mean, you're gonna win today, but I think I'm gonna win more consistently than you.
Oh, you'll win 97% of the time because I'm pretty conservative in my style. So this is loud for me, So no, I have a tiger shirt that I love.
Oh yeah, the tiger shirt's a little loud, but it's dope.
Great tiger. But yeah, it's dope. So
yeah,
it's Bruce Lee.
If you watch the like the sales throwdowns of like back whenever we were in the studio, I'm always in a button up, and I think it's always a different one, which is just kind of on purpose, but kind of not. But yeah, I've got lots of cool things, and the girls are liking the more crazy patterns. So I got this really cool one with chili peppers on it recently.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I might have to start busting those out. Hey, if you get us on LinkedIn Live, I'll wear one every morning. I'll wear whatever crazy shirt I want in this hat, even if it didn't go together. If we can be on.
So Gabriel said he liked the hat too. He wanted to know where it was. I'm assuming because it's in Chicago. Well, no, I don't know why. Why does Chicago have a hat that has a buffalo in it?
It was okay. So we're walking around, and I love hats, as I think most people know. And so we went into a haberdashery because there was a haberdashery in like one of these kind of like so Chicago, if you've not been there, is kind of burrowed like New York, but like it's not as like the city and then everything else is. Yeah.
Right.
So my friend Michael was showing us around, and there's a haberdashery, and I was like, I love haberdasheries. Like it's one of my favorite things.
Explain that to the people.
Haberdashery is someone who makes hats, and they make like typically like fedoras and akubras and all of these kind of style of hats. And so we got to go in there, and it's super cool because like you pick your hat shape, and then you pick your band, and then you pick if you want like a feather over here on the side or like a medallion. And I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many choices and there's so many hats. And here's the deal. I don't really wear fedoras. I don't really wear that style of hat, but like I still love the accentuating of it, right? Of like the picking and the choosing and making this hat your own. And now we've been watching so much Mythbusters, and Adam Savage wears that kind of like wide brimmed hat. And I've done all the research on it. It's called an akubra. It's an Australian style hat. And I can get one right here in Texas for like $100 and get it creased and everything else.
Yeah.
But then like Melissa's like, I think you look good, but would you wear it? And I was like, oh, yeah. These things are to wear, not just to have.
Well, your headphones wouldn't fit over it.
I know. I'd have to start doing this, and then what's going to happen is every time I laugh, the headphones are going to fall off, and then Gabe is going to have a conniption fit, and
endless material.
Endless material. So like I wouldn't wear it here, but I do think that those hats are really cool.
I like them.
The interesting thing is like I've got kind of this is maybe head trash, but like normally when you see guys wearing those hats, they're either very, very short and kind of like round, so like they've got this look, or they are very, very thin and they can pull the hat off and stuff like this. And I am kind of neither one of those things. I'm a pretty tall guy. Like I don't know that everybody knows that, but like the small mountain thing is also interesting because I'm kind of tall. I don't really feel tall most of the time, so I don't really make a big deal about it, but other people do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I'm not super skinny.
Well, see, I think the thing is that the height would actually allow, from like a perspective standpoint, it wouldn't look weird with that wide brim because you're so tall.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that's why the short round guy it works for, because he's got so much round to match the brim, right? So it's like matching. The skinny guy, I think the skinny guy's an anomaly. I don't know why that works.
Should I just like overhaul the whole look and just be like permanent pearl snap and like wide brimmed hat, dude?
Bro, I'd rock it. To me, it's your going out. That's John's going out style right there.
Oh, well, but like here's the deal for me. Like it bothers me to have one style for going out and one style for like daily use. For whatever reason, it's just like, this is horribly inefficient.
Yeah, that matches you. I'm totally like, I'm up for it. How should we dress today? Let's see. Levi says, try it for a week.
Levi is killing it this week. He's the man.
Nice.
He's so legit. Like, when we went out and we found him almost by accident, he didn't want his wife to post in the neighborhood group talking about the fact that he was looking for a job. And then we ended up chatting, and dude is into poker. He's into Wim Hof, like breath work. He's into all kinds of really cool stuff. And like every conversation, I'm just like, we're like best friends. And he lives.
Are we best friends now?
He lives 2 blocks away from me,
which
is like really, really crazy. And dude is also in the jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, man, were we separated at birth? And you took the cool route and got to live in Austin for a very long time, and I didn't. But yeah, so dude is killing it. Really, really, really happy to know him and to have him working with Scott, my client. And yeah, it's all good. Awesome. What do you got for today, Bill?
Once that Gabriel says to get on LinkedIn Live, he got on LinkedIn Live. He said, use the Michael Goldberg method. I know Michael. We've sat in the same room with Michael Gabriel, of course. Tell me what that is. Hit me offline, and maybe we can figure out how to get this done, because we would love to be on LinkedIn, because we shop for clients on LinkedIn. So that's where we want our content to be ideally. So my day for today, I have a couple meetings. At noon, I have my weekly meeting with my group. I moved them to Thursdays now because of school on Wednesdays. So Thursdays is when I have my weekly accountability group meeting. And then I've got blocking and tackling all afternoon, mostly.
Nice. Okay.
So unless something creeps up, my bill bat's almost done.
Good for you. I need to write one more section, which will be today. I'm going to write my Sherpa, which will be today. I need to do a value post. I've got the role play groups here shortly that I'm going to be moving off of Facebook rather quickly. So I'm going to be setting up a lander so that you can join a mailing list. And so that way, if you want to come, it'll be here in Zoom. And that way we can do the breakout groups, because I thought you could do that in the Facebook groups, but that I'm not seeing it. So I know how to do it in Zoom. So yeah, if you want to practice, because practice is how you get better, right? And I don't care what part of it is your practice, right? If you're doing DM selling, right, then you can chat in these things, right? So, let's practice that. Like, what's your approach? How do you reach out to these people? Like, how do you transition to getting them on the call? And now that we're on the call, how do you practice like the human to human conversational element of this thing, right? I don't care how you do it. Just come practice it so that way you're prepared and better for when you have to do it in front of a client who's not going to be as forgiving as a practice partner is. Like, this is this is the jiu-jitsu thing, right? You spend the first hour of class working with someone who's allowing you to take that arm and pull it off and then do the arm bar. And then the second half of the class, which is rolling, which is sparring, they're no longer trying to let you. They're trying to keep you from doing it. And they're also trying to choke you as well. So how well can you do it when there's pressure involved, right? And some of these prospects are going to push you. They're going to be busy. They're going to have other things in mind that are going to kind of keep them from treating you as as a human, right? You get treated as a salesperson. So how are you going to handle that? Jake, I've got 5 minutes, man. What do you got? You feel that pressure? There's pressure there, right? What are you going to do in that moment? Because if you don't have something, let me just tell you, or hey, 5 minutes isn't enough, Jake. I don't think we're going to have enough time to actually talk through anything. Should we reschedule, or have you already made a decision that I'm not going to be able to help you?
Right. Exactly. Well, maybe I've got more than 5 minutes, but let's make it quick.
Okay. What does quick mean?
Exactly.
So, come practice that stuff so that way you're prepared, because you're going to have good prospects, you're going to have bad prospects, you're going to have everything in between, right? The only difference between good and bad is how you deal with their stuff in the conversation, right? There's no, I know a lot of people say this, and my coach always says it as well, like there's no such thing as a bad prospect. I don't really agree with that, because I do think that there are some bad prospects, but I do think that the average person tends to put that label on the prospect as opposed to where it actually deserves to be is on themselves the majority of the time. So
definitely shared blame, but there are bad prospects. Yeah.
I don't think that every salesperson who says that a bad prospect is a bad prospect, but I do think that there are some.
Yes.
But, yeah. So I've got the role play groups, which are moving to Zoom. I've got a catch-up call with a good friend of mine at noon, and then have another catch-up call with Hayden Blackburn, who's like this really legit entrepreneur, small business guy here in Fort Worth. He works with a kind of like a nonprofit incubator called Tech Fort Worth. Super solid guy, knows everybody in town, and we haven't caught up in a while, so we're going to catch up this afternoon. I will. And then I've got the podcast tonight at 6:30 with that crew. So it's going to be a full day. The girls are going up to Gainesville to visit some family, so it's going to be just me. So while I'm excited that I'm going to get a lot done, I'm also like, wait, you guys are not going to be here with me like all day? Like, I don't. Is this a thing? Is this how people operate in the COVID life?
Yeah.
So
hey, you can wear as many pearl strap shirts as you want today and get no flack.
Are you kidding me? The girls love the pearl snap shirts. Like Alice, who was in the kitchen a minute ago, I said, hey, should I wear this hat? Mm-hmm. And she goes, and I said, should I wear it on Bill? And she goes, yes. So don't wear it around her, but wear it on the show.
Right. It's good. It's good style. It's just not her style.
Exactly. Okay. So I've got some social stuff. I'm going to finish updating my notes here. Do the role play groups. I need to spend some time with Levi today because I didn't get to yesterday. Sorry, Levi. It's going to be a full day, but this should pretty much end my build up for the week. So that way Friday is just, I'm so excited to have like a breakout block, right? I'm just going to put like 3 hours and I'm just going to go explore and research all the things that have been slowly adding onto my business research to-do list in my Todoist app. So excited about all of that.
Sweet.
But yeah, anything going to get in your way?
Anything what?
Anything going to get in your way today?
No, nothing.
No? Cool.
Nope. I'm good. I'm set. I'm locked in. I'm locked in hardcore to the planner. Yeah, you just have certain weeks, and actually, I go almost in months. I have certain months where I'm locked hardcore into my planner and my journal. Oh, it's less about days and weeks for me. It's more like months.
It is a special day. Actually, yesterday was a special day because
on top of the hat,
this journal, which has been like with me through like thick and thin. I've been using this journal in various ways and instances since March of 2017, right? Is full. So it gets retired. It is Hall of Fame material. It's still here because like there's like some like lagging notes that I need to get into my digital notes. But started a new journal yesterday with, I think this was a gift from somebody because everyone buys me journals now. It's called Nomadic. Oh yeah, this is from my buddy Travis Baker, actually. Really, really cool guy. He sells boxes. He wants to inspect your package. That's his tagline. Pretty awesome.
That's right. I remember you telling me that. That's awesome.
And so this thing is Nomadic, and it's really cool because it's got these like straps on both sides, so that way you can mark places, and it has 3 different bookmarks in there.
Wow.
I like me some bookmarks. So
that's hardcore journaling right there.
Yeah, I'm digging it so far. Like I really like the Lecturum. Like this has been my kind of like go-to, but this might be taking over. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little too. It feels too fancy. It feels too fancy.
They're both great.
Yeah. Oh, you're all fine.
Yeah. They're both fine.
But yes, so my journal is full, which is like a big deal because most people don't journal at all, and most people start and stop, myself included, so often that you don't really ever fill one up. So my daily note-taking journal and stuff like that is mostly full. My actual journaling journal is filling up rapidly with the amount I'm doing in the evenings, and things are solid, man.
Awesome, love it.
Yeah, so let's get after it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, this is almost a Friday episode.
There it is. It is, yeah. But there's too much goodness. So
too much goodness, right? I mean, this hat demands extra time. This hat and that shirt, they're not allowed to be in the same room together because it would just make every day a Thursday.
I was gonna say, like, if I put my hands on one of those hats and I had this shirt, I'd be unstoppable. I mean, there'd be nothing in my way.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, have a good Thursday, Bill.
You too, Bill. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All righty.